I think I froze there for a second. Hypnotists and holistic practitioners who are really ready to, take their business and turn it into a full-time business, right? Like maybe some of you are, how many of you here are, let's do a quick poll here just so I can get a gauge of where you guys are at. How many of you here are full-time in your business right now, your holistic or hypnosis business? Drop FT below if you're full-time in your business. Just drop FT for full-time if you're full-time in your business. And if you're part-time, put PT. Put PT in the chat if you're part-time and you're wanting to go full-time. Okay, just so I can get a gauge of kind of who we got here. So Christine says part-time. How many of you guys here are part-time and you're wanting to go full-time? Just put PT or part-time. And if you are full-time, just put FT or full-time. And that'll give me a good idea of kind of what you guys are needing and where you guys are at. Okay. So again, this is the this is really the place to come to when it comes to learning how to sell for value instead of your time. As a hypnotist or holistic practitioners, I myself am a board certified hypnotist. I do EFT. I'm exploring mediumship. Like I'm just like you guys. I've got a huge tool belt, right? And the question becomes, how can we start to really monetize and, turn this into an actual business? How can we actually start making, beyond 10K months, not just 10K per month, but beyond 10K per month. So let's do another quick poll here. What does the next level look like in your business for you? Like just drop it below. Like, is it 10K per month? Is that the next level? Is it 20K per month, 30K per month? Like what's the next level look like for you in your business right now? Let's just do a quick poll here just to see where everybody's at. Hey, Jeanette, nice to meet you. I don't think we've chatted. You must be new. If so, welcome. You said, I'm anxious to get into the 4 and 5 figure tribe. Gotcha. So do you mean 4 and 5 figure months? Is that what you're saying, Jeanette? Like 4 or 5 figure months? I'm assuming you mean months, right? Christine says 30K per month. Yeah. How about Ahmed or Joseph or Jeanette? Like what's the next level look like for you as far as revenue? We'll just talk revenue for right now. Okay. So we'll just do a quick poll with that. And so who do we have in this group? We have we've got the gamut. We've got this group and the strategies that I teach here not only work for hypnotists, but also Reiki masters. I mean, we've got meditation coaches, life coaches, regression coaches, like I said, EFT practitioners, mediums, tarot card readers. I mean, all of these strategies will work for any service-based healing business, okay? So Jeanette says, recently full-time due to resign from your school district. Congratulations. Sounds like a big transition. Well, let us know if we can do anything for you. Sounds like an exciting 4K per month. Is that the goal, Jeanette? Yeah, so, when we take it, let me back up here. So as we switch over to a high ticket or value-based pricing system, it's going to allow you to much easier get to 10K, 20K, 30K plus months, okay? Like 4,000 could be like one client, right? If we do this right, if we structure this right, we do the call right, 4,000 could be like one client, right? So it becomes a lot easier to get to 10, 20, 30K plus months when we're selling high ticket. So how many of you here are, maybe you're selling per session, your package of sessions or for your time, and you're wanting to switch over to selling high ticket? Just drop the words, drop HT. We'll just be using first letters here. Drop HT in the chat if you're currently selling like below 5,000 and you want to start selling like premium, like you want to start selling premium, attracting premium clients, selling premium packages and programs. Jeanette says, I have to replace my salary, 65,000. Oh, Jeanette, that's easy. Like, yeah, I'm just going to pull out my calculator here real quick. So 65, you said 65,000. So let's 65,000 divided by 12. Let's just do this real quick. So divided by 12, it's really 5,000 a month. So about 5,400 would allow you to have the 65,000. So yeah, that's pretty simple. You know, once we switch over to a higher ticket model, if you're wanting to explore that, just actually, I'll have Zadia, if you're watching, drop your m.me link if you would, and then you know, Jeanette, if we can help you in any way, just ping Zadia. Just drop the word, I don't know, high ticket with Zadia, and then she can help you out. If you are looking for anything to, you know, if you want to get there faster, if you want like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and a strategy that is already working, feel free, Zadia. She's my moderator and my assistant. She'll help you out in case you didn't get plugged in on your way in. So, is it possible? Absolutely. You know, our hypnotists and holistic practitioners are selling 5,000 and above. So most of the clients we work with are charging 5,000 minimum and above for their programs and offers. So what makes this possible, right? Like what justifies a high ticket price point? And then we'll get into the sales tricks here. So when we start to reframe the call, okay, when we start to reframe the call and stop talking about, we stop making the call about us, and then we stop making the calls about our modalities. We're no longer selling that, right? Now it becomes about the client stepping up. Is the client going to commit, right? Are they a good fit for you? Do they really value the result, right? When we start selling the result and we get away from selling our time, we eliminate them looking up and calculating how much it's going to be per session. Okay, and we talked about this before. I don't know if Lark is here, but me and Lark have chatted about this. How many of you here right now, when you're doing a sales call, your prospects look up and they start calculating how much is it per session, right? We want to eliminate that because the value is not in you showing up. The value is about them showing up, okay? Chances are you're already doing the work. Chances are you're already applying yourself. You're putting 100% in with your clients. And Zadia just dropped her link, Jeanette. So, you know, if you want to explore and see if we can help you out, feel free to hit Zadia's m.me link and then just shoot her a quick message and say, help me. Let's just say help. If you do want to. No pressure. Absolutely don't have to do anything, but that's there in case. And if anyone else on the line wants that too. So, yeah, everybody, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what you're asking, Jeanette, but I would say probably 60% of 60% of the healers and hypnotists that we attract do have some sort of other job and they're wanting to go full time into their business. And if that's the case, you're in the right place. Yeah. So Zadia is giving you, just message her high ticket if you know. It sounds like, Jeanette, now's the time. It sounds like the universe has decided that for you. So if we can help you out, just shoot Zadia's message. So let's get into it. So let me grab my notes here so I don't forget anything. So why is it important to learn how to sell? I want to, before we get into it, I want to give some context and talk about why this is important, because if I don't talk about this, it's not going to matter to you guys, right? Like you're going to be like, who cares? If you don't see the value in it, you're not going to do it, right? So why switch over to high ticket, okay? So I'll let you know what I was dealing with before I finally made the switch, okay? When I was selling low ticket hypnosis and healing programs, what was showing up in my business was inconsistent revenue and inconsistent client sessions. So how many of you here right now, your week to week is all over the place? Like sometimes you have a lot of clients, sometimes you have no clients, sometimes you have a ton of clients, it's just not consistent, right? So your revenue is inconsistent, and then your client retention rate is not consistent either. So you don't know what next week's going to look like, right? This is how I was running my hypnosis business for several years. Well, I guess I would say probably a couple years. And before I realized, like, this selling sessions and selling low ticket, it's a grind and it's another job. Okay. So how many of you would like to bring more consistency to the business right now? Just drop the word consistent below. If you want more predictability with revenue, income, and then client retention. Yeah, Jeanette. So this is I would say probably a good majority are hypnotists, just because that's what I am, and that's probably what people pick up. But also, I would say a good 50% is also, again, what I was saying earlier. We got a lot of medium, psychics, EFT practitioners, life coaches, um, human design specialists. Like, I mean, what else is out there? Um, Akashic records. Healers. I mean, we've got the gamut here. I don't think there's any modality we don't have. So yeah, a lot of hypnotists here, and I'm also a hypnotist as well. But these strategies will work for any. As you guys have probably seen, Laura Palmer is a great example. I don't know if you guys saw Laura Palmer's interview that I put out a couple months ago. She's a Reiki practitioner. And a medium, and she was selling like $100 a reading per session, and then by the end of the time we worked together, she was selling $4,000 or $5,000 offers. So that's just the kind of transformation that you can create as well for your own business. Okay, so Christine says more consistency. Yeah, so what's going to allow you to create that consistency is switching over to a higher ticket model, right? Because now you can do installments with payments. Now you're working with people over a longer period of time versus 3 sessions or 1 session, right? So that's going to create more consistency there. I was having trouble with ghosting and people no-showing. So how many of you here, maybe you get started with a client and maybe they even pay you and they just kind of fizzle out. Like they just fizzle out. Maybe by session 3, they're just like tapped out, they disappear, they ghost. Maybe on calls, people are ghosting, right? Like how many of you are dealing with ghosting, no-shows? Like basically your clients are not showing up like hungry. They're not showing up like you do. The way I wrote it down was that it feels like you want it more for them than they want it for themselves. How many feel like it's that weird dynamic that you want it more for them than they want it for themselves? Just drop the word me in the chat if this feels like you right now. That's what happened to me. Like it seemed like I wanted it more for them and I was holding them more accountable than they were holding themselves accountable. And then what ended up happening because of that was that they didn't get the results I knew they were capable of getting. Okay. So how many of you, like, this is resonating for you right now? This was what was happening to me right before I switched over to charging premium and high ticket for my clients. And this fixed it all. This completely turned the tables right around and put the responsibility back on the client to show up and take the action. Okay. Another thing that ends up happening if you're struggling with sales calls is that you end up battling objections. Okay, so what we're going to talk about today is how to eliminate this. You're battling objections at the end of the call. So you do your call, things are going well, you feel like they're in, they love what you have. Next thing you know, you're hearing, I got to think about it. Can I get back to you? Oh, I wasn't expecting that, right? Can I talk to my spouse? All that kind of nonsense. You're just battling at the end of the call. So Jeanette says a lot of the time, yeah. So there's a high ticket is the way to go. This is going to turn that table right back around. And now there's fire under their ass too, right? We want to have fire under their ass too, okay? So what ends up happening is, what I end up seeing a lot is hypnotists and holistic practitioners really struggle with the sales conversations, okay? And a lot of the time it's because, we're just not properly trained in this. Like, we're healers, right? And so at some point, we've got to realize that it's time to swallow the marketing and sales pill if you want to grow a successful business. How many of you are in this place right now? You're like, you know what? I'm ready to do what it takes. Marketing, sales, let's go. Like, I got to make this work. Is there anyone here who's like, are all of you guys open to learning the marketing and sales? Like, let's do a quick poll here. Are you guys open to learning the marketing and sales so that you can scale to beyond 10K months, right? I know a lot of people I talk to have hired and delegated ads and marketing to other people. It's never worked out, usually because the messaging is not on point. That's usually the biggest issue. Christine says open. Okay, perfect. Yeah. I'll be honest, guys, the strategies I share here are not going to work for you if you do not want to learn the marketing and sales, because that is what I teach, is marketing and sales for healers and hypnotists. Okay. So unfortunately, if you're not willing to learn that, I don't have anything for you. If you're ready to learn how to do sales, you're ready to learn how to do the marketing, you're ready to get into the tech, you're ready to get into the trenches to make this business work, then I can help you. Now you're in the right place. Okay. Jeanette gave me a thumbs up. Perfect. Christine says open. Awesome. All right. So also what ends up showing up in your business if you're not switching, if you're not doing high ticket model, is you feel like you end up wasting your time talking to the wrong people. Like you feel like you're talking to low quality or unqualified clients. Like maybe you're battling, taste testers. How many of you are getting taste testers or window shoppers, right? What's your price? How much do you cost? What's your price point, right? Or do you guys take insurance, right? Like this type of stuff. Okay. Now there's a way to navigate these. But it doesn't necessarily mean that that they will buy, right? It just depends on the quality of the client. So how many of you here want higher quality clients? Like drop the word next level. Drop the phrase next level. You want higher caliber clients. Like you want people who are going to show up and play on your level and invest in themselves, right? You want people who are ready to invest in themselves, not looking to just window shop and taste test. And that's often a belief. I talk to a lot of hypnotists and healers who believe that people need I feel like there's a bug on me or something. I don't know what's going on. Who feel like people need to do a taste test before they sign up. And this is absolutely not true. People do not need a taste test to commit to your offer. Okay. This is a sales conversation problem. Okay. So Christine says next level. I love the energy, guys. Great energy. Jeanette says next level. Joseph says next level. Good stuff. All right. And what ends up happening is you begin to question what could start happening around this time is that you start to question your offer. You start to question whether you're good enough. You start to question whether you're really cut out to run a business when you're running into this type of stuff. And it starts to mess with your head. Like this is what was starting to happen with me. I kept getting people who just didn't give a shit, right? Like maybe you have that one all-star. Like I would get that one all-star who would take what I gave them and they were hungry, right? But it was not the majority. I was like, how do I get everyone to show up with fire? Well, that's what's going to happen when you switch over to a high ticket model. Okay. And you start to introduce high ticket conversations. Jeanette, am I speaking your language right now? Am I speaking your language? You get that one person who's like, boom, right? The best testimonial you could possibly have. And everyone else is coming down and sitting like it's their next doctor's appointment. They're just like, okay, go. Right? That may be the dynamic you create when you follow a therapist model. So a lot of you here are modeling therapists. You're modeling therapists, okay? And I'm here to tell you, here's something I learned, okay? I talk to a lot of therapists and psychotherapists and counselors, blah, 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 who come to here. They come to my group with the same problems. They have the same problems. They're not making enough. Clients aren't committed. They're not doing the homework. They're not barely able to, cover personal expenses. They have all the same problems you do. So why look to a therapist and their model and mirror that? It's not, you're going to run the same problems, which is exactly what's happening. The therapist model of charging and running a business does not work. Okay. So, and another problem is that they end up grinding. Like look at counselors and therapists. They see how many patients a day, right? They probably see 10 to 15 patients a day, right? And they're grinding away, right? Because they're essentially selling low ticket insurance, right? And then they get paid by insurance companies, but even insurance companies take 40, 50%, from what I hear, maybe even worse in some cases. So All that being said, to go back to why, if you're here and you want to have good, work-life balance, okay, you want to work with people who are butt kickers, who are not going to waste your time, who are hungry, who are wanting more from you, who are showing up just as high level and high value as you are. The way to do that is to be by getting good at high ticket sales. Okay, there is no other road for this. You cannot avoid this road. Okay, I've tried it. Don't you think I've tried it? Don't you think I've tried it? Okay, I've been that one person who's like, what? Why can't I just sell passive income? Why can't I just do passive income? Well, here's why. Because if you only build your business on passive income, like a low ticket offer, a lot of that's going to be drained away by marketing expenses anyway. You're going to liquidate and lose most of that anyway. So the right strategy here is get good at sales, get in some good quality clients, and then use passive income to liquidate some of the marketing spend. Not to make a living wage, but to liquidate some of the marketing spend. Okay, those are two different things. Okay, two different ways of using passive income. Passive income alone is not going to generate you 10K plus months. Okay. All right. So let's get into it, guys. So what are these really simple tweaks and tricks you can use on your next sales call to get clients to commit, to get them to show up on a higher level, to have them show up as high value as well, right? You guys ready to go into it? If so, let me know. Drop the phrase, let's go, if you guys are ready to jump into these. So I actually have more than 3 now. Throughout the day, my notes kept going on and on. And actually, guys, before we jump in here, some of you guys are new to the Facebook group. And if you haven't gotten access to the mini course and you're new to the group and you still need your logins for the mini course, go ahead, Zadia, if you would drop your m.me link again. Zadia is going to drop her m.me link, tap her link, and then send her the word course through Messenger, and then she'll get you your logins for the mini course if you didn't get it on the way in. Okay, so she will not be able to reach out to you. She is blocked again. So we are in Facebook jail again. Well, she's in Facebook jail. So if you do want the mini course, you will have to message her. So Zadia just dropped her link, guys. If you want the mini course, tap her link, send the word, it'll open up Messenger, send her the word course. She'll get you your links for the login, your links for your login. Okay. All right. So let's go. Perfect. So Rika says, let's go. Joseph says, let's go. Who else do we have here on the line here? Christine says, let's go. Cool. Rika, I don't know. Your name looks familiar. I feel like you've been with us for a little bit. Let us know how everything is going. Cool. Well, let's jump in here, guys. So, hey, Jeanette, if you want the mini course, tap the link above your comment that says m.me/Zadia. She's banned till tomorrow. Like, she can't message you. So tap her link and then message her the word course, and then she can connect with you. She's just not going to be able to message you for a couple days. So just go ahead and do that. All right. So let's go. So first thing here is, guys, this is often a blind spot for a lot of hypnotists and healers. And anytime I review calls, I see this a lot. Okay. And this may sound obvious for some of you, but then I find out still some hypnotists and healers are not doing this. Okay. And what it is always set the agenda and take the lead right from the get-go. Okay. When you're opening up a sales call or conversation, you must take control and take the lead of the call immediately within the first couple minutes. Okay. If you don't, here's what happens. A prospect will start to cut you off. They'll start to ask you questions. They will take the lead of the call if you don't. Okay. So how many of you are implementing this right now? How many of you here, as soon as you hop on, you're like, okay, great to meet you. Here's what we're going to do here today. Let's get started. Like, you have to set the agenda and the expectations and take the lead as soon as you get on. Okay. If you don't, you're not going to create the doctor-patient dynamic. You're going to create a friend-friend dynamic. And are you going to pay your friends, right? Are you going to pay your friends to help you, or an expert and authority to help you, right? With whatever your problem is. Like, let's do a quick poll here, guys. So who are you going to who are you going to spend more money on? An expert, authority, or your friends? Right? Who has more value, or I should say perceived value, right? So if you do not set this from the beginning, you're going to lose control of the call potentially throughout the call, okay? So it's a small piece. It takes 30 seconds to do, but if you don't do it, you're going to potentially lose a sale. You're not going to appear high value. You're not going to appear high value. Okay. Jeanette says, I start strong, but what? Let us know what the rest of that sentence is. Okay, so that is number one. Okay, that is one way to start showing up as higher value to get more closed calls. Okay, this alone is going to set you up for success. Okay, all right. And guys, every Wednesday, this is an opportunity for you guys to get coaching as well. So you don't have to just sit here and watch me. Start throwing your questions below here in the chat. Like, this is an opportunity for you guys to get coaching as well. So start putting your questions in the chat here, and I'll be happy to answer whatever you guys have. This is an opportunity for you guys to get some help, so take advantage of it. Okay. All right, so that is point number one. All right, that alone is going to change the game for you guys. Okay, that's going to set the right frame. That's going to set the right frame. All right, and I hope you guys are taking notes. Take notes on this. This is stuff I only give to like paying clients. So guys, I hope you're taking notes. Have a sheet of paper, have a Google Doc, and take notes as we're going through here. Okay. Yeah. So Jeanette is saying I'm marketing to the wrong people. Yeah. So yeah, that could turn into a whole long conversation. Again, Jeanette, if this is like time of the essence type of thing, feel free to message Zadia and she can talk about what we have and see if it's a good fit for you. If you're open to having that conversation, if time's of the essence, talk to Zadia. She can guide you in the right direction. And, but yeah, that's a whole conversation. You know, it could be a niche problem. It could be a marketing problem. It could be a copywriting problem. Like, it's just like, there's so many variables. Okay, cool. So cool. No crazy here. So Joseph's taking notes. Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, we got to get you in front of the right people, right? So here's a great example. And I sent this out in the email at the beginning of the week. So I don't know if you guys saw my Monday email, but the analogy I gave was that you know, somebody asked Lamborghini why it is they don't run television commercials, right? Lamborghini, Porsche, they don't run television commercials, right? And the reason for that is because their audience is not spending their time watching TV all day, right? And so if let's pretend that Porsche or Lamborghini all of a sudden started running television commercials, now we're putting the right thing in front of the wrong people. You see what I mean? This is how critical, and how much does a 20-second TV spot cost, right? 20-second TV spot, what? I don't know, 20 grand, 50 grand, more? I don't know. I've never run a commercial, but that's a great example of potentially putting the right thing in front of the wrong people. Okay, so we want to use the right strategy. We want to have the right niche, right? And, you know, this is something that we can continue to talk about. All right. All right, so number 2 here, guys, without further ado. In order to get 30% more close rate, okay, never drop your price unless you're absolutely sure your prospect is ready to go. Okay? Now, let me back up and clear this up. Okay? A lot of hypnotists and healers, and I've been guilty of this in the past, will still pitch their price when they feel like something is still off. Like maybe the prospect has some anxiety, some doubts, or they don't see the value or whatever. But a lot of hypnotists and healers, they pitch their price point way too soon in the call. In fact, many of you guys, your calls are not long enough. Quick poll here. how long is your sales calls right now? Just drop it in the chat. Just rapid fire. How long are you guys spending on sales calls right now? And then I'll let you know how long they need to be to sell high ticket. What are you guys doing right now? Usually when I talk to healers and hypnotists, they're like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, something like that. How long are your calls? Rika says 30 minutes. Let me get some water while you guys are doing that. My voice is always wanting to go so quickly. Maybe I need to do some kind of voice. Maybe I need to sing more or something. My voice is always going like halfway through. All right. So Rika is at 30 minutes. How about the rest of you guys? Christine says 20 minutes. So look, guys, here's what I'm going to tell you. So Jeanette says 15 to 30 minutes. Yeah. So Jeanette, I can already tell you already your sales calls are not long enough. Christine, yours are not long enough. Rika, yours are not long enough. So if you're moving into a higher ticket, like if you want to sell 4,000 or 5,000 and above, the higher the price point, the longer the calls. Write this down. The higher the price point, the longer the calls. Okay. So if you're looking at charging 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, even 3,000, you could get away in 40 minutes or so. But if we're talking 5,000 and above, you're looking at about an hour. Okay. Because you're going to get more objections you have to work through. Okay. I also teach a strategy that, like, the way I teach sales is that for hypnotists and healers specifically, is that the call is broken down into pieces. Like, we break the call, we chunk it down into pieces, and we don't wing any of this. Right? There's the opening, rapport building, there's the setting the agenda, then there's the discovery phase, there's a lot more to this. In fact, Jeanette says, when I go 40, 50, I think I'm getting too friendly. Yeah. Well, it depends, right? I'd have to see the call. Like, I can't make any judgment calls from here. It's definitely something you could probably take a look at. Guys, I almost forgot about this, and I'm actually going to probably send this out next week, but I'll give you guys first dibs. So at Hypno Thoughts a couple weeks ago, I gave away the entire structure of a high ticket sales call. Like, I gave away the high level overview of a high ticket sales conversation for hypnotists and healers. If any of you want that, it's free. Zadia, if you drop your link, tap Zadia's link and drop the word overview, and we'll send you that document. So it's the entire proper layout of the sales call broken down in chunks, so you can see what it should look like. So if any of you guys want that map, tap Zadia's link and I'll get that over to you. This is something I gave away at the conference only. It was a conference exclusive. So if you guys do want that, tap her link, drop the word overview, and then I'll know, she'll know, Zadia will know to get that over to you. Okay. So I wasn't planning on releasing that till next week, but you guys can have first dibs just because it's on my mind now. Okay. All right. So going back to what Shannon, tap Zadia's link and send her the message overview in her messenger. She cannot reach out to you because she's blocked until Friday. So she's in Facebook jail right now. So Shannon, tap the link above your comment and then send her the message overview to get that. That's the only way she can get that to you, because she can't message you first. She's in Facebook jail now. So that's just the way we kind of have to do things. No, all good. You didn't know. Cool. So never ever drop your price unless you're like 99% sure they're ready to go. Like they're good. Okay. And usually this is just a gut check. Like, is there any reason why? Is there anything I don't have? Is there any reason? Do I feel like if I drop the price right now? Shannon says it's not letting me. That link is not working. I can try and send you mine. Let's see here. Shannon, if that one doesn't work, try mine. I don't know if that'll make a difference. Unfortunately, she just can't reach out. Try mine and see if that, and just send me the word overview, and then I can see if that works. Either that or just friend request her. Oh, the previous one worked. Oh, so yeah, Zadia, make sure that, yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there, but yeah, Zadia, just let everyone know if you're hearing from them. Just give them like a thumbs up or something like that. And then yeah, I'll reach out to you, Shannon. Check your messages. I may have already. Your name looks familiar, so check your message just in case. Cool. All right, guys. So on to point number 3. Okay. In order to close 30% more high ticket sales, here's what's going to help you guys. Okay. Start to challenge. A lot of you aren't challenging your prospects. Okay. Start to challenge your prospects on their decision-making strategies. Okay. So here's an example of this. Okay. So a prospect says, you know what? Can I take some time to think about it? Right? Okay, sure. Yeah. Like, how long do you feel like you're needing? Right? And they say, give me about a week. How many of you guys get this? Give me about a week. Give me like 3 days. Give me this. Give me that. And what we'll do is say, okay, sure, no problem. And then we get off the call. Okay. There's no challenging being done here. Okay. So here's an example of what this would look like. Do you guys want an example of this? You guys want an example of challenging your prospect? Would this be helpful for you guys? This is probably one of the reasons you're losing a lot of sales, to be honest. If you don't know how to do this, or if you don't feel like you're allowed to do this a lot of time. You know, a lot of us are empaths, so we feel bad. We don't want to pressure people, right? But it's not about pressuring people. It's not about pressuring people. It's about helping them to think differently. It's about help. Like, you're already doing this. You're already healers. You just need to apply this to your sales calls. Okay. So here's what this might sound like. So, okay, cool. So you need like 5 days to think about it. Okay. You know, just curious, like, why 5 days? Like, what do you think is going to happen in those 5 days? Right? Like, find out why 5 days. That's kind of a long time. And then they might say, well, I just need to process things. I just need to like process things. I totally get it. Yeah. Processing things. Yeah. Typically when people say that they need to think about it, they oftentimes, it's usually one or more of these 3 things. So they either don't trust me, or they don't trust they're going to get the support that they need. And if that's the case, totally let me know. Like, I'm not going to stand here in the way of your success. Just let me know. Two is that they don't trust the process. They don't trust the process. They don't, for whatever reason, they haven't done their research. They haven't seen our testimonials, and therefore they don't think, they don't know if the process is really going to work for them. Okay. Or 3, they don't trust that they themselves are going to execute or do the work to get the result. Would you say is one or more of those 3 things? Okay. And what's going to happen? Usually the prospect opens up, might say, yeah, it's going to be like number 3. It's going to be like number 3, or maybe it's number 1, or maybe it's number 2, right? So this is an example of challenging them on their thinking. Okay. I don't mean pushing them, not backing them into a corner, not forcing them to do anything, but helping them see things differently. Hey, to be honest, a lot of times when people need to think about it and 5 days go by, 7 days go by, next thing you know, it's been 2 weeks and a month and 6 months, and nothing's changed. And things end up fizzling out, and nothing ever happens. And next thing you know, we're having the same conversation 6 months from today. So, just between you and me and off the record, like, what do you feel like is really holding you back? Do you see how, like, it's just more of a conversation, not a hard close, a power close, pulling someone's arm behind their back. It's not about that at all. It's a conversation. It's a dialogue. Okay. And I'm here to tell you guys that you deserve clarity. You all deserve clarity. You do not deserve to be left in the dark by your prospects. That's not fair to you. Okay. I don't allow that. If prospects ghost me or play games, I take the offer away. Okay. I don't have time for this. Okay. So was that helpful for you guys? Like, was that a good example for you guys on challenging their thinking? Was that helpful for you guys? Many of you guys are not doing this out of fear, okay? But look, here's what I'm going to tell you. If you're not doing this, you're going to lose the sale anyway. You've already lost it. You might as well challenge them. Because if they get off the call, 7 days go by, 5 days go by, 4 days go by, the sale's gone anyway. So this is going to be a useful skill for you to learn. This is going to be worth your while to learn. Okay, I do a lot of training on this. I do a lot of coaching behind this. Yeah, it can be uncomfortable. Right? But if you're going to coach them and help them, you're going to have to be able to have uncomfortable conversations, right? So what good is avoiding this? It's like if you can't have that connection, what's the point anyway, right? Like, there's no point. Okay. So that is number 3. Okay. That was the third. That's 3. I know I said 3 tricks, but I have more here that I listed as I was going on throughout the day. Let's see here. Guys, and drop your questions below here. We've got like another few minutes or so. So go ahead and drop your questions below. This is an opportunity for you guys to get coaching. Joseph is challenging like you're Rocky in the boxing ring. Well, we don't want to go in like this. We certainly don't want to go in with our fists up, right? Just sitting back, relaxed, right? Like, so yeah, I mean, usually when people need 5 days to think about it, usually it's one of these 3 things. What ends up happening is we procrastinate, we sit on it. Next thing months go by, years go by, and we're having the same conversation 5 years from now, or 6 months from now, right? Like, challenge their thinking, okay? Because if you don't, you've lost the sale anyway. You're going to lose it anyway. You might as well use this as an opportunity. Jeanette says, what about when it comes to RTT? What do you mean? What's your question specifically, RTT? I know RTT, you guys sell 1 session at a time. We have a lot of RTT practitioners that we work with. What we do is move them into selling a high ticket program. So do you have to do that? No. You could certainly sell 1 session for like $3,000. You could totally do that. But I mean, chances are you can offer more to your client. Chances are maybe you can offer coaching. You can do multiple sessions, right? You probably have a lot more to offer than just 1 session, right? I would imagine. We sell that. It can be taken as 1 session. You know what, guys? I don't think life can be fixed in 1 session, and people always have problems. Right? So let's pretend you fix their smoking issues in 1 session. Well, what else can you help them with? If you help them with chocolate cravings in 1 session, don't you still need to compound the effects? Can't you still make it stronger and continue the work? Like, there's always something to do. Jeanette says, I'm still wrapping my brain around it. Look, if you're open to working with people on a higher level over a longer period of time, don't you think you have that, Jeanette? Don't you think you have more to offer than 1 session to 1 person, like your ideal client? Like weight loss, right? Weight loss, it's going to depend on your niche, right, and your promise. But weight loss ain't going to be fixed in 1 session. I'm sorry. Like, it took me 2 years to lose 80 pounds. It took me 10 years to learn how to keep the weight off. You know what I mean? Like, I truly don't believe anything is just knocked out in 1 session. I just don't believe it, I know smoking can be a different beast. I know people have helped people smoking quit. Yeah, okay, great. Well, what else can you help them with, right? Like, what else do they need help with, right? They're just going to go to someone else for their next problem. Why not have them stick around with you, Yeah, so you can add, so like what we can do is take all of your modalities and put it into 1 high ticket program. Okay. Christine says, use all the coaching tricks and tools in those sales calls. Use what they say to open another conversation. Christine, what's your question? I'm not really sure what you mean. Or is that a question? I don't know. Is that a question? Yeah, Jeanette, if we talk, that's something we can talk about. We have a lot of RTT practitioners that we've worked with, like get into higher ticket, organizing all of their tools into one program and sell that at a higher price point, right? Because we're no longer selling the modality anymore. Now we're charging for the result, right? Now we're charging for the result instead of your time. Yeah, you don't need a coaching certificate. Guys, you don't even need certifications at all. Like certifications are more for you than for your client. You know what I mean? You don't even need a cert, right? But it's good to have proper training, right, to help people. Yeah, sure. You can go get as many certs as you want, right? But at what point, when is it time to start putting that money into making more money, right? When is it time to put out money to make more money, right? So, you just got to decide when that time is right. Okay. All right. And last point here, guys. I know we're going long-winded here like we always do, but I always have fun on these calls. Hopefully, you guys, is this valuable for you guys? Are you taking some value away from this? Drop the word value below if you're taking value away from this. All right. And I'll do a quick recap here. So number 1 is always set the agenda. Take the lead from the get-go. Within the first couple minutes, take the lead. Okay, let them know what's going to happen, how the call is going to go, and what to expect. Okay. Never drop your price. If you have any doubt, they might say any doubt about saying yes. Do not drop the price until you're 100% certain they're ready to go. Emotionally, you've got everything you need. Problem, goals, all that kind of stuff. Okay. Christine says, no, wasn't a question, just another way to look at it. Oh, gotcha. So most of us have learned to challenge beliefs in our training. We can adapt those. Yeah, you can adapt that during your sales calls, right? So don't drop the price before you know they're in. Okay. I got a couple more here actually. So second to last one here is always ask permission. Okay. A lot of us are so in a hurry to move people and pitch the price and get people and sell that we come off salesy. And so what I teach is to ask permission to move to the next step. Okay. Like, I'm confident I can help you. Would you like to know what that looks like? Right? So we're asking permission to sell them. Okay. So this is going to help you show up as higher value, is asking permission to help sell so they sell themselves. They're asking for more, not you chasing them down. Okay. So permission-based selling is what I teach. It's a part of the compassion-based selling strategies that I teach. Compassion-based selling, part of that is asking permission. Okay. All right. And here's the final one. Good tip, guys. Good tip. Never, ever do a call when a prospect cannot take out a credit card. Okay? This is one I learned very early on. Never do a sales call if your prospect is busy washing dishes, taking a walk outside, driving. If they are preoccupied, never, ever do a call if they can't get out the card. There's no point. You're not going to get a card. You're going to waste your time. Then you got to follow up all this kind of stuff. Game over, right? Before it even started, it's over. Okay? So that is what I got for you guys. So was this helpful for you guys? Like, I gave you guys some pretty juicy stuff here. And then Zadia, if you want to drop your link one more time, and if you want that sheet that I gave away at HypnoThoughts with the breakdown of a high ticket sales call, it's literally broken down by like a timeline. If you want that, just tap Zadia's link and drop the word overview, and I'll get that over to you. So I'll also release it next week to the rest of the group, but you guys have first dibs just because it just popped into my head. So Jeanette, we got to get you taking credit cards. It sounds like we'll talk. We'll talk. Christine, yep. Cool. All right, guys, that's what I have here. If you're watching the replay, just go ahead and drop your questions below. I'll get back to you in the comments. If you found this valuable, just drop the word value below. That helps me and lets me know that you're getting value from our weekly lives. As always, every Wednesday at 5 p.m. Eastern, I do live coaching here in the group, this call right here. So yeah, every Wednesday we're here at 5 p.m. Eastern. So bring your questions and yeah, well, anything to do with sales, marketing, your niche, whatever you guys got, that's what I'm here for. And if we can help you out, just shoot Zydia a message, guys. Go take care. I'll see you. Use these techniques. Start now. And keep me posted. All right, guys, have a great rest of your week. Sayonara.